Hello, welcome to another post. So today we'll be talking on smartphone battery and its charging. Of the many materials used to make batteries, and lithium has been found to be the best material used for making batteries. Now, in this smartphone battery, they consist of two ends, which is the positive end and the negative end. These two ends are separated by a barrier. There are electrons either at either ends. There are electrons in this battery which reside at either the positive end or the negative end. When all these electrons are at the negative end, the battery percentage is tend to be 0. And when all the electrons is at the positive end, the battery percentage is tempted to be at 100%. Now, essentially, what the charger does is that it brings current which pushes the electron from the negative end to a positive end through a pathway. Now, in the old USB-A cables used to charge phones, you will notice that those that use USB-A cables, their phone generally tend to charge slower. But those who use the new type of USB-C ports, their phone charge faster, up to about 15 watts of charging. Now, recently you will discover there has been an uprise in the sales of fast charger, and what this fast charger essentially do is that they do the process of taking electrons from the negative terminal to the positive terminal faster. As I said earlier, a smartphone battery is made up of lithium. They are called lithium-ion batteries. A battery percentage of either 0 and 100 are bad for your battery health because they affect the battery cycle. Ideally, a battery percentage of 80 and 90% are usually okay. What essentially happens during the charging process is that when the phone is nearly at 0%, the batteries draw a constant current from the charger which is supplied by the wall socket, and this process operates at a lower voltage. Now the voltage increases as the battery charges up. It reaches equilibrium near 70% before the current supplies begin to dwindle. Now this explains how phone charges speedily from 0 to about 60 and 70%, and therefore reduces and then the charging speed reduces. Now, what lithium-ion batteries prefer is that when you charge their phone partially, because this benefits the cell longevity and increases the overall charge cycle. Leaving your phone to charge overnight is often bad. Now, this leads to plating of lithium in its metallic form. Now, if you have done chemistry, you would have heard of electroplating. That is the deposition of metals. When you charge overnight, it leads to the deposition of metals in this your lithium-ion battery cell. Now, what this does, the deposition of this metallic lithium, which is called plating, decreases the phone battery stability, and leads to malfunction in the system of the phone. Overcharging also leaves the battery at 100%, and many users like this 100% because they know their battery is completely full. Now, this leaving your battery to charge overnight, it takes it to 100%. But what this does is that it induces a higher stress on your battery, a higher voltage stress on your battery, and this causes your phone to heat, and heat is the most important enemy of the battery life of a phone. Now, although smartphones are now countering this by stopping or cutting the current supplies to the phone once it's full. Now you will notice that maybe sometimes your smartphone, if it's a new brand, when you charge it on the wall socket and you observe, maybe you wake up in the night because you charged overnight to check your phone, you will notice your phone is at 100% and your phone has stopped charging. Now this is a mechanism that has been baked into newer phones to cut the overheating of phones due to the constant current, the current and the voltage that is being passed through. Now I want to talk about one final thing that is called parasitic load. Now many people like to charge their smartphone while gaming or watching videos, which is entirely bad. This leads to the phone getting hot. This leads to the phone getting hot due to heat, and heat is the enemy of the battery life of a phone. Parasitic load disrupts the normal charging cycles of your smartphone and induces a mini cycle, which is a continuous charging and the draining of the battery. High temperature and high voltage stresses the battery and makes it loses its overall capacity overall. It is better to keep your phone in a cool place than in a hot place. Now we are coming to the end of the video. Now one thing you should note that smartphone batteries, they are lithium ion batteries, and if your battery capacity is measured in milliampere. Now there are phones that have high milliampere of phone battery, example Technopova or Technopovoi phones. Then you will also see most item phones have that capacity, have those high capacity in their phones. Now generally your phone having high capacity doesn't necessarily mean that your phone will last the whole day. Sometimes those apps are not optimized for the phone. Now you will get this analogy from iPhones. iPhone doesn't necessarily have the highest or biggest capacity in phones, but you will see the latest iPhone 13 Pro Max has about 10 hours of use, because iPhone as a whole has been optimized towards the battery and it leads to higher saving of battery. But the entirety of Android, since there are many companies that are using Android, those Android cannot be optimized for their phones, so they generally lead to more drainage of battery than conserving battery. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up, then subscribe. I hope to see you in the next video. Alright, peace out.